Hello? Oh no. Ah, we're live. She put me live with no warning. Well, here we are at my super fancy, super rich, brand new, super rich, fancy house. You can see the grand piano did come in. We were concerned about that, but the grand piano did come in. There was a little bit of issue with the shipping, but it all came in just fine. The fireplace turned out exactly like I wanted it. It's super nice, and somehow I don't know how they were able to do this, but they have the technology now. Somehow they were able to get all of the smoke that comes out of the fireplace to smell like cotton candy. Don't understand. And there's like I can change the settings so I can switch it to cinnamon during the winter time. Crazy. Anyway, so that's all that. This is our entryway over here. You can see just a little peek of my library back there. And I know that a lot of people were wondering if I could get the super secret spy door to open up to my man cave down in the bottom. I couldn't think of the version of man cave to my man cave, and we were. You just have to pull on the I'm trying to think of a book, pull on the Bible, and it'll open. It's falling apart. It's falling apart. Hello, Ronald. I'm waiting for my mother to show up. And I was trying to get, I should probably fix those. I was trying to get into the chat through StreamYard so I could just chat over there. But every time I do that, it seems to have an issue. I'm going to try it again right now. Yes, allow Google. And I see the number. And let's see if it'll let me into the chat. This is for the version make it, but I can't remember what it's called. But what's the non-binary equivalent? Non-binary bunker is what I'm going with. Yeah, it's not letting me into the chat. And then there's like girl garden, no, gal, she shed. Thank you, she shed. I was trying to think of something to start with a G, and I was like, what's a place that starts with a G? But I'm gonna go with non-binary bunker. Oh, my glasses chains are all over the place. This is one of the things I got for Christmas. We're probably gonna talk about later. But I got glasses chains to sit on my glasses. These ones have moons on them, and then I have other ones that have like stars, and there's ones that have lightning bolts and a couple other things. I probably should like have some of my Christmas presents here. Thank you for acknowledging my new home, Ronald. I can't wait to do some practicing on my grand piano here. We might change this carpet. I don't know how I feel about that one. We might change that carpet, but the rest of it's looking really nice. And you see my super big TV over here. We have it built into the wall. It's just the worst angle because we don't watch TV. You don't watch TV when you're rich. You just sit around and drink champagne and talk about the poors. Oh, also, they're not earrings. They're like glasses chains. They sit on my glasses. So they're not attached back here. There we go. I can just turn my head. They sit here. So I can live my best librarian life. It also gives me, so when I have glasses chains, that I can do this thing where I look very disappointed and just over everything. I can just. So if you're really looking, I can just sit them there. Where is she? What is she doing? There she is. Ran away. I'm not very. Well, I'm from the south, so I yes, ma'am, or yes, sir. Yeah, I've seen a lot of discussion about the equivalent of yes, ma'am, yes, sir, that like for a non-binary person, and none of them really sound too great. So I just kind of stick with it unless told otherwise, or like sometimes I just drop the formalities altogether unless you're like an old white lady who looks like she's gonna cuss me out at work or something. Hello, mother. Do you like my new fancy house that I got for Christmas?
Yes, I see.
I was telling Ronald how the grand piano finally came in. We were having some shipping issues, but the grand piano finally came in.
Sorry I'm a little late. I made the mistake of starting a book before 30 minutes before I was supposed to get out of bed.
Ridiculous.
Anyway, hello everyone and welcome to the Coffee Klatsch. We are your ambient companion to keep you company as you go about your daily chores or ignore some of your daily chores. I am Danny, the contemplative diva.
And I am Artemis the Fae, as usual. Or Maya.
Yes. And I thought we would do something a little bit different today. Since this is, oh, let me take the banner down so you can see it in its full glory, Ronald.
This is news to me.
Oh, you can't see my shirt.
Just barely. You'll have to stand up.
You know how hard it is for me to get out of this chair, but oh, shirt.
Robin Shirt. Happy
Thank
Christmas.
you, Ronald. Thank you, Ronald. I thought we would do something a little bit different today. This week, this is the week that people call wasted week, dead week, although I don't like to say dead. But excuse me, lame duck week. It's the week between Christmas and New Year's where you're really not going to get anything done.
Oh, I
But
was
it's
like, what are
also
you talking about?
it is also the week for me that since that I like to contemplate. That's why I'm the contemplative diva today, because I like to contemplate what I'm going to do with the new year. I mean, between you, me, and the fence post, we know that goals last about that long for me, but I still like to take this week to think and ponder what I could do with the new year. So I thought we would take this time to just talk about a little bit about our holiday and then a little bit possibly about plans we might have for the new year.
Sure.
Sure. So, do you want to talk about your Christmas first since you put it on the list?
I put it on the list for both of us to talk about because we were together because I went home for Christmas.
Yay.
I did a big
Oh,
old
before we
drive.
start that, we didn't mention our beverages. What are you drinking?
I am drinking Lipton green tea watermelon.
Oh, you found it.
Yes. And I like it.
Is it good? It's good.
Yeah, I like it.
I think we got it and didn't like it, if I remember correctly. I mean, we didn't hate it, but we expected more flavor than there
Well, it was
was
either
in it.
this, the regular Lipton green tea diet, or the mixed berry. And I felt like I would be more likely to like watermelon than I would mixed
Hmm.
berry.
We like the mixed berry a lot. We have a lot of it. I am drinking instant coffee with Ovaltine and hazelnut creamer.
Ovaltine.
Hmm. Well, when I have hazelnut in my brain, chocolate and hazelnut go together, and I've been using Carnation Instant Breakfast
Mm-hmm.
in whenever I have hazelnut creamer. Your father buys the creamer, and I never know what flavors he's going to come home with. Usually some French vanilla because French vanilla is his favorite. Sweet cream is my favorite. But if they don't have Italian sweet cream, sometimes they'll come home with hazelnut or caramel macchiato or something random. Last week he came home with Cinnabon vanilla cinnamon something flavored. It was very good
Ooh,
creamer.
that
But
sounds
anyway,
yummy.
but yeah, so I always have to put some chocolate in. I used up all my carnation instant breakfast, so now I am using up my Ovaltine, which I had bought both of those things when I was in a phase of thinking that I wanted to drink chocolate milk. Only that was before I narrowed down the fact that milk is one of the things that seems to be bothering my stomach.
Mm.
So I sometimes I buy the what do they call it, the A1 milk or the fake milk. Your brother calls it fake milk. It's like it's regular cow's milk with a certain protein removed from
With
it,
no
so it
like
makes
lactase. So you're talking
makes
about
it milk.
lactate?
It's not the lactate milk. Because there's two different.
Oh,
There's one that's like the one where they take the some of the lactose out of it, but then there's another one where they take a different thing out of it, and it has higher protein than regular milk, but it doesn't give you the bloaty feeling.
okay.
It's I think it's
I
called A1 something or whatever. I
A1
buy
steakhouse
it
milk.
occasionally. Funny. I buy it occasionally, but I can't get over the price of it compared to regular milk, so I don't buy it all the time.
How much is it compared to regular milk?
It's like it doesn't come in gallon containers. It comes in like I think 2 quart containers or like
Mm-hmm.
54 ounces or whatever it is. It's an odd number. It's not
Mm-hmm.
like a not quite 2 quarts number, like 50 something,
Yeah,
but it's like $3.25, which feels like a lot to me.
that does feel like a lot, but I also don't buy milk because I don't drink
Hmm.
milk.
It feels like a lot. But do you want to go on about Christmas, ma'am? What do you want to say about
Sure.
Christmas?
I drove home. I drove the whole 2 hours. It was long. But luckily we weren't super sick and weren't snowed in. So we were actually able to go home this year.
Mhm.
Um, Drove down just in time. We hit some traffic. And also, apparently, McDonald's is not open on Christmas anymore.
Your father said McDonald's was never open on Christmas. When I said
Mc-
that to him, he said McDonald's was never open on Christmas. I said, well, she used to
Absolutely a
work.
lie
She
because
used to work for
yes,
McDonald's,
I
so
worked
I
for like
think
3 Christmases in a row.
okay, I'll remind him of that because he felt very sure that that
The same way that he felt very sure that you guys didn't used to buy 2% milk, except I only remember ever drinking 2% milk at the house.
sidebar. I usually early on in my relationship, I trusted faithfully that my husband was always right because my memory is very patchy. So if he said something with a certainty, I believed him.
He does have an
After
authoritative
be,
way of saying things.
after being married almost 35 years, I realize now that his memory is getting just as patchy as mine, and it does not know absolutely everything. Sidebar over.
Anyway, so we were trying to find somewhere to eat and friggin' and I was so confident. I was like, okay, let's go. And we're like, well, we wanted to try Burger King first because we both wanted a croissant. But we went to the one Burger King that was close to us and they were closed. And I was like, yeah, I don't know if Burger King has a history of being open on Christmas, but you know who does? McDonald's. And so we drive right past the Waffle House, which was absolutely open, and go to
Which of
McDonald's.
course you know because you worked at Waffle House too.
Yes, and they have a like full reputation of being open through freaking the apocalypse. So we it depends on the franchise owner. For example, my franchise was never. Oh, okay. I worked corporate, so I guess I should have checked to see if the McDonald's that we were going to were corporate McDonald's because I worked corporate and corporate was open. Um,
Okay, yes, that's
I
a
didn't even
good
think about
side
that.
note.
I
That's a
forgot
good
that I
side
forgot about
note.
franchise because I don't think I've ever worked at a franchise like store. All the stores that I've
Um,
worked at were corporate.
Chloe worked at a franchise store, and I think hers was always closed.
I remember that she worked at the franchise store because they got to wear jeans. They didn't have to wear that ugly corporate uniform with those nasty pants. Anyway, so we drove right past Waffle House, which is absolutely open. And we were joking. We're like, you know who's definitely going to be open? Waffle House as we drove by. We're like, okay. And we went to McDonald's, closed. Went to another McDonald's, closed. And we're like, oh no. And then McDonald's stopped being open. And so the second McDonald's that we went to, because we were like, we're already losing time or whatever. So the second McDonald's that we went to was across the street from a Wendy's. And Wayne looked it up and it was like, is Wendy's going to be open on Christmas? And it said yes. And so we went to the Wendy's. Wendy's is closed. And so right next to the Wendy's was a Denny's. And so we went to Denny's for breakfast. We really just wanted something quick that we could like eat in the car while we were
Hmm.
driving, but couldn't find anything. So we sat down at Denny's and had a pretty nice breakfast at Denny's. I just had like
Wasn't
two pancakes
wasn't Denny's that place that we went to
in Florida.
um when we were in Florida right before the cruise? Because I said I had never been to a Denny's before. Was that the is that
Yeah,
I can't
wait,
remember
yeah,
if it was Denny's or some other place we went to.
it was Denny's because Wayne reminded me because I was like, oh, I've only ever been to a Denny's once, and he's like, when we went in Florida, and I was like, oh, I've only ever been to a Denny's twice. Because I forgot that that was where we went in Florida. Because I kept thinking it was somewhere else that we went in Florida, but Wade is very insistent that it was Denny's, and that sounds right. Mommy got some not chocolate, some cookies for Christmas. People hold Denny's in bad regard, but I felt like, yeah, Denny's isn't bad. It's just every Denny's that I've ever been to has always been slam packed busy.
I don't know if
But
these are cookies or candy. I don't know if I can hold it up to show you, but it has the
the
fancy
fancy wrapper.
paper.
Yeah, who got you those for Christmas? Was that Isaac or
No,
Lee?
uh,
Those look like candies. Those are
they
definitely
do look like
candies.
candies. The way they're nestled in here, they look like candies, don't they?
They absolutely look like
Um,
candies.
no, your father, one
Oh
of the
yeah.
one of the flight attendants gave it to him when they came back from Spain because he works the international gate a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And so they gave it to him when they got back from Spain. I sidebar, I choose not to be suspicious of the fact that flight attendants are giving him gifts. Sidebar over. He but he they gave it to him and he immediately looked at it and he's like, this doesn't look like anything I would eat. And so he wrapped the tin up in Christmas paper and
Mm-hmm.
said, "This is your Christmas present. Hold on to it till Christmas." So it's been sitting here for a couple weeks.
That's funny.
But oh, it's like the cookies are wrapped like candy.
That is so. It is cookies.
It feels like a cookie, but it's wrapped like a piece like candy. But you see
Open
how
it.
big it is.
I must see this weird cookie candy contraption.
And I must tell you that while I'm opening this, I am resisting the urge. I've been trying to beat down the urge since yesterday. I smushed it with my hand when I picked it up, so it's crumbled.
Oh no. Ronald
It's
says he would
crumbled,
eat. Ronald says he would eat the fuck out of that.
but it's definitely cookie.
Okay, definitely cookie. What kind of cookie?
Mm, not bad.
Is it like a
Yeah,
shortbread?
here's a bigger piece because I definitely broke it.
Ooh. Is it like a shortbread cookie?
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of like a
Ooh,
shortbread cookie.
that sounds good.
It's a little bit bland, but it tastes good with
Hmm.
the coffee. Oh, do you know what this
Yeah, that I
reminds
was
me
like
of?
that. That looks like the kind of cookie you would eat with
No,
coffee.
not a cookie. It reminds me of if you took one of those cinnamon donuts from Krispy Kreme. The
Hmm.
cinnamon Have you ever had like the cinnamon donuts? It's like you know how a regular donut, right? This
I know
is
how a
like
regular donut.
you know how a regular donuts.
Hmm.
But instead they added like extra cinnamon into the dough so that when you open
Okay.
it up, the dough is more like brown because they put a bunch of cinnamon in it.
Okay. I'm following.
And then sometimes they put a white glaze on top of it.
Hmm.
And sometimes if because usually that's people's least favorite donut. So sometimes that donut will sit in there and it will dry out a little bit till it's kind of crispy.
Okay.
This is what this tastes like.
That was a journey that we just went on.
One
Chloe, I
one
want you
thing
to Chloe, I want you to go back and edit this video and put up pictures of donuts over everything that she's talking about.
this is the one thing you gotta know about me is that sometimes not sometimes often I sit at home and because I'm home alone most days, and while I'm working or doing other things, my mind is wandering, and my mind just sits here and comes up with weird analogies or descriptions for things that are going on, like my weird description of how that tastes, or often it's a weird description of what kind of pain I have in my back. Or like my brain goes to, if I was at the doctor and I had to describe to the doctor, I never go to the
How would
doctor
I
anyway.
describe this to the doctor?
But how would I describe this to the doctor? But I never go to the doctor, so I never get to use all of these fabulous descriptions that I come up with in my head. But my brain does that all the time.
You should get into.
All
You
the
should be
time.
like Chandler Bing. You should get into advertising.
All the time. But oh, what I was trying to say is that I am resisting the urge to be like a kid who just came back from Christmas vacation and say, do the show and tell. Look at all the stuff I got for Christmas. I got this, and I got this, and I got this.
I was
I had to
definitely about to
tell
just go
myself.
down the list of stuff that I have.
I
I
had
don't
to
have it all
tell.
with me.
What'd you say?
I said I don't have all my stuff with me, but I was about to go down the list of the stuff
Oh,
that I
I have
got.
all my stuff right next to me
My
because
stuff is
my husband.
in.
Because for those watching, my husband came up with it because every year we have like a huge mess in our living room because there's 6 of us. So all of us sitting there opening multiple presents and there's wrapping paper all over the place and blah blah blah. It's a huge mess. And so every year he tries to come up with a different way for us to contain the mess so that when we're done opening presents, it doesn't look like a hurricane hit our living room. This year's solution was he sat there with a trash bag in his hand
It
and
said passing the trash every time.
grabbed everybody's wrapping paper as soon as they opened the present, but also he gave everybody purposely went to the dollar store and bought those big gift bags with the
Mhm.
handles. And as you got your gift, because we're older now, so the kind of gifts we get aren't going to be like, toy trucks or something that are difficult to put. Is everything we
I
get can
don't
fit
think
into an.
anybody in our house has ever gotten a toy truck.
I think your father tried to buy Isaac a toy truck once. But
I
you
do
know what
not
I'm
recall.
saying? You got when you
Yes.
guys were younger, you got toys that had odd shapes and you couldn't really
Oh,
just put
look at my
everything in a neat.
bop it.
Yeah, in a neat pile. Now that we're all adults, we give each other things that go in nice, neat piles. A box with jewelry in it, or a crown, or whatever.
Speaking of jewelry, the friggin' jewelry kerfuffle of 2023. Because Chloe and I had so many similar like jewelry pieces on our
Yes, before you
list.
say that, I was just gonna say we to spare you guys us being like, elementary school show and tell and just bringing out all our gifts. I figure we'll just hit the highlights of a few things that happened. But like you were saying, the jewelry issue.
Yeah, Chloe and I have similar jewelry stuff on our list because sometimes I will just go to Chloe's list and be like, what does Chloe have in her list? She's always good at finding accessories. And I would fully just like snipe stuff out of her list and put it in my Amazon list, or like look at stuff on her list and be like, ooh, I like that idea, but don't like that exact thing. Let me find something that I like that's like that. And so we had there was a pair of earrings. I was like, ooh, these are the earrings that I had on my list. And Daddy was like, those are for Chloe. And so I asked him to Chloe. And then Chloe opened mine and it was I think it was the glasses chains. And then she opened another thing of jewelry and I was like, those are the ones that I had on my list. So there was a bunch of all the jewelry that was open. We were both like, is this for me or is this for them? Yeah.
And the catchphrase of the Christmas day was the way of the knife.
Way of the blade. Because we had this tiny little box cutter knife that was honestly pretty unsafe. It did not stay closed. It was like a thin little like
It
paper
didn't
blade.
Yeah, it didn't have a handle on it. It didn't have any kind of guide things. It was like a naked blade.
Yeah.
Like almost like if you took the blade refills that used to go in old razor handles, if you just
Yes.
took the naked blade and just said, "Here, have a blade."
Yeah,
And
and
this
so
is what your
anytime,
father this is what your father was passing around to help everybody open their gifts. Here, have a naked blade.
yeah, so every time somebody had a box with like tape on it and they were like struggling, I was like, give them the way of the blade. Or like I was opening I was like, I need the way of the blade. Couldn't open the boxes.
Also, another thing that happens is that my for the past several years, because we what happens Christmas for us, because my husband always works on Christmas and usually has to go in like at 1 o'clock. We do a really quick Christmas session. And it's not like um well, it's good that you got a text from your
Yeah.
mother, Ronald. It's good that you got a text from your mother. But and we couldn't all be together because my daughter and her partner, my other daughter and her partner were at home because well, she had just gotten back from a family cruise with her partner and her partner's family, and she got just like we did last time, she got sick at the end of the cruise. And so rather than pass her germs to everybody, they stayed at home on video call, which we do it on the past couple years. We've done it on video call for everybody.
Mm.
So
And luckily,
it's
Wayne and I were just barely in the clear for being sick because I had had a fever about 5 days before. But according to the internet, 24 hours or 48 hours after a fever, you're like safe and not like contagious anymore. So we were all okay. And Wayne had a fever like the week before. So but we were like just barely in the clear.
but so usually it's not like, when you're little kids, the kids would wake up at 6 a.m. and want to open their presents, so you can get the whole Christmas opening done and still have breakfast before he has to go to work. But now we don't even manage to get together. Like today, this
He was eating a
year,
breakfast burrito as we were opening gifts.
yeah, this year it was like what was it, 11:30 by the time we sat down and started opening gifts.
Yeah, because we got there at like 11 on the dot.
And by the time everybody got in and got settled down and got um Sid and V on the video call, so we only had roughly in 30 minutes to an hour to get things
Mm-hmm.
open before he had to go upstairs and get dressed and leave. So it turns out to be a frenzy of, oh, this is nice, I like this next. Oh, this is nice, I like this next. And we try to go around to everybody so that everybody can open one gift. Instead of one person to open all their gifts, we try to go
Mm-hmm.
around the circle. But at the end, we were running out of time, so everybody was just opening at the same time and showing each other and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So all of this results in me with my spotty memory already forgetting who got me stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not positive who got some of my stuff because I know that the glasses, chains, and the crowns I got from Chloe. And Chloe says she's got one more gift for me that's on the way that I just haven't seen yet because it takes a while. And then I know that I got the clothing rack from you
Yes.
because you were talking about how you wanted to give me something to help with my business. And then the rest of my stuff, I'm not super positive because I don't know who got me my rings. Um, I know Isaac got me the laptop, which I got a
Yeah.
laptop.
Yes.
That's
Yay.
how I'm able
I,
to have my fancy rich house.
I was wondering if you were using the laptop for your video call
Yes.
today or
Yes,
yes,
because neither one of the other laptops in the house would handle doing a fake green screen. So,
and well, and it's doing a very good job. I barely see any, what do they call it, artifacting when you
yeah,
move. For the most part, it's
there it
you're
is.
doing a pretty good job. There it is right there, yeah. But for the most part, it looks really good.
Yeah, you got my hair in there and everything.
Yep. Oh, her afro was fabulous.
It
She had
was so much.
it was a fabulous afro. My
I
afro won't
had
ever do that.
I had to pull it up. I wore it the next day to work because nobody at work had ever seen me with my hair down. And so, because when I started working there, I had the braids from the cruise, and then I took the
Mhm.
braids out, but didn't like detangle my hair, and so
Mhm.
my hair's been just kind of like pulled back for a while.
Mhm.
Um, yes, it took me that long to detangle my hair. But my hair's been like, but I also wore those braids for a long
Hey,
time.
honey, I'm not judging because my hair is. I'm not
As
judging.
as it is, I'm trying to see if I can go to the cosmetology school and get them to put some twists in my hair for pretty cheap. Because there's a lady, she came into the store that I work, and she was getting some balloons to celebrate like opening her little salon. And
Mhm.
she, because I think it's not like a full salon, but it's like she has a room in a suite. um
Mhm.
but she gave me her business card, and she said she would do faux locks for $200, hair included, so I don't have to buy my own
Whew.
hair.
That I mean, that's the going rate for that kind of thing. But still, when you say it out loud, my brain goes,
It's,
"Woo."
yes, it is outrageous, but it would be worth it for them to look good and me not to be spending a week and a half doing my hair.
Mhm.
But anyway, I wore my hair out to work, and everybody's like, "Oh my goodness, your hair! I didn't realize you had that much hair." And I was like, "Yeah, I got a lot of hair." And then I came home and immediately pulled it up into a puff, because I was like, it was just like 2 days of it kind of hanging in my face after not having it in my face for a while. I was like, I've got to get it out, and I didn't have, and it's not like I couldn't pull it in stretchy. I had to get. I literally had some elastic left over from some sort of craft project, and just cut a strip of elastic and tied it up.
I feel like that's what I'm gonna have to do because I told you 2 videos ago my thing snapped. My last two
Mm-hmm.
big elastics snapped, and the elastics that I usually use for a bun like yours, they're like this big around, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the
Yeah,
normal elastics for just
I think I
regular
can show you the one that
ponytails
I've got.
are like that big around. And the ones that I bought from so I bought some from Amazon that said that they were longer elastics, but when I got them, they're not as big as the one I had.
Yeah, I fully just got. I'm trying to see if I can grab it, but I have all my stuff kind of tucked away at the moment because I switched to a different table. I was gonna try to show you, but this green screen is really just pulling its weight. Um, but the I'm sitting at my other table where I've got just a blank wall behind me, so I can't show you. There it is. Oh, green screen, figured out. But it's fully
Oh,
just
okay.
an elastic cord, and I just cut a strip of it that was long enough to pull my hair back.
Yeah, I might have to do that.
I mean, it's working. It's working really well. I put it in last night, and then put my bonnet over it, because I've got the super big bonnet. I put it in last night, put my bonnet over it, and this is how it's looking. The elastic stayed in, and it's not. It was kind of tight at first, but then like me moving and sleeping on it like loosened it up a little bit, so it doesn't feel like it's gonna give me a headache.
Cool, cool. So what I was saying about Christmas is that I got the bright idea as I was
Mm-hmm.
taking my bag upstairs. Oh, because my computer was sitting open on my bed, so I was like, "Oh, why don't I um pull up Google Keep right quick and write down?" Because I already had like a little list for Christmas on Google Keep, so I just
Mm-hmm.
added to it what everybody got me. But then as I was going through the stuff, I had 2 things that I could not remember. I could not remember who had gotten me the cookbook and the Wild Party, the copy of
Those
the Wild
weren't
Party.
me. I
And
don't know who
so
them.
and Isaac couldn't remember. We narrowed everything down and we thought we had those 2 things now. So I asked Sydney, Sydney didn't remember. I asked Chloe, and Chloe said, "I got you the Noodle Book and the Wild Party." I said,
Okay.
"Well, I thought," and she said, "But I don't know who got you the coloring book." I said, "I thought you got me the coloring book because I thought
And
you
the
got me
yeah,
the coloring book
and the
and the
calligraphy.
pens and the calligraphy pens." And she said, "No, the calligraphy pens were in the same package with the cookbook, the noodle book." And so now I still have a
We
mystery. I
got
do
two
not
books that we don't
know.
know
I
who
said,
got them.
"No, I know." She said she got me Wild Party and the cookbook. and she got me the pens. I got everything else narrowed down. I do not know who got me this coloring book.
It wasn't me. Did you ask
Well,
Isaac?
I know it wasn't you. Isaac doesn't remember who it was. And Isaac got me the games. So it wasn't him. I was
Yeah.
hoping you would remember, but
I
you don't
fully don't
remember
because I don't think
either.
I knew at the time because I don't know that it was mentioned when you were opening it who got it for you.
Well, and I asked Sydney because I thought if V, because I thought it narrowed it down. Maybe it was either V or when I thought it was the cookbook in the Wild Party, I said, well, maybe it's either V or Wayne. Well, it's not Wayne because mine already got me a present and I knew you guys were on a budget. So I knew Wayne would, and plus already told me Wayne didn't know how to fool. Wayne was like your father, didn't know how to fool with the whole wish list thing and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
we
So
did our gifts together.
I know he was not going to go on my wish list independently and get me a
Yeah.
gift. So I thought maybe it was V because V got me the cookbook last year.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, maybe V got me the cookbook this year. But so I asked Sydney, and but if V got it for me, Sydney would know because V
Hmm.
is Sydney's partner. So and she said she didn't know. She said the same thing you said and I said, which is this whole gift opening thing is crazy and it's hard to remember.
That's hilarious. You know, just
So
a mystery gift.
which it just the only thing is it bothers me because we have such a frenzy when we open the gifts and I try to express my happiness with every gift when I open it,
Hmm.
but I always have the urge later on in the
To like show
year,
them that you're using it.
yeah, to show them that I'm using it or to express a further appreciation because I feel like I didn't express enough appreciation on Christmas because we're rushing so much.
Hmm.
So I try to, if I find that I'm really enjoying it later when I use it, or like if I cook something out of the cookbook you got me or something like that, then I want to be able to say something,
Yeah.
but so that's why I wrote so at least for 95% of all of the gifts, I have everybody written
You've
down.
written down.
So when I use them this year, at least I'll remember who got me the stuff. It's kind
Hmm.
of the equivalent of when you have a baby shower and somebody sits on the side and writes down who gave you what gift so that when you
Yeah.
go home later you can do all the thank you notes.
Hmm.
That's what I feel like we need for our Christmases. We need the official
Yeah,
stenographer
secretary.
to just write down what everybody gave everybody so that they can remember later, which is crazy. But this, I still haven't had a chance to really look at this coloring book. So we'll have to discuss this coloring book later. But this is one that was on my list
Yeah, we need to get some
because
more pictures up on the wall.
it's all men folk.
Men folk.
Look at those pictures.
So flowery.
Doubt mine are gonna look that good. There's a female version of it too.
Hmm.
I had both of them on. I think I had both of them on my wish list, but somebody in their infinite wisdom decided I needed the men folk. So, but they give you a good, even on the inside, they
Ooh,
give you a
nice.
good, like that's the picture, and then that's the color guide on the bottom,
Uh huh.
so that you can try to
Match them up. That's
match your
nice.
pins close, and then there's the picture itself. And they're supposed to be supposedly not bleed through pages.
I would still put a
So
spare. I would still put a piece of paper under there
yeah,
anyway.
I'm going to, but ooh, handsome.
Are these like actual people or are these just random
You
pictures?
mean you mean are they like actors or something
Yeah, are
that
these like known
we're
people?
supposed to recognize? No, I think they're just
Oh,
models.
okay.
They're just models.
Yeah, because I was like, I
But
don't quite recognize them, but I'm not sure if it's just because of your camera or whatever. Because
yeah, I
Amy
wanted to.
Winehouse still looks like friggin' Lady Gaga from here every time I look at her.
Ooh,
Amy
oh,
Winehouse.
Amy Winehouse up
She
there.
looks like
Yeah,
yeah, she looks
a
like Lady
little bit.
Gaga.
Yeah, yeah, she does a little bit. She does a little bit, but Um, what was I gonna say about this book? We'll talk about this book more later when I color in it some more about how I came to get that book. And because Ronald is in the stream, I will show off this other thing that I got,
Oh yeah.
which is my son got me games. So I've got
Azul.
the mini version of Azul and Welcome to the
Oh yeah, I
Moon.
forgot about Welcome to the Moon.
Welcome to the Moon. Yep. Yes, I play Azul a lot on BGA, but also I um I got a chance to actually play the base game. Yeah, I know. I know. That's why I put it on my list. Welcome to the Moon is a campaign. That's why I put it on my list.
Are you gonna play
Because
the
I
campaign by
thought
yourself, or are you gonna wait until you're with somebody to play it with them?
I might. Oh, you've played all 8 of them. Cool.
Oh my goodness.
I might play it with Isaac because that leads into part of the contemplation for this year. Sorry, I'm a little sweaty. I'm an old lady.
He's powdering my
Whatever.
nose.
Make fun of me, whatever. But yeah, I'm one of my goals for the year. I think we're just going to weave the goals in and out of the conversation. One of the
Sound
goals
good?
for the year is that I am um I want to try to keep that dining room table clear.
For
That
games?
for games. That was my goal last year, and I want to try to reinforce that goal of trying to keep that table clear. Um, these days, because of my lack of energy, I'll be honest, your brother does a good um, bit of the chores around here, more so than I do. I try to keep my ensuite bathroom clean and straighten up my bedroom. But like my office, other than this little bit that I let you see, is a hot mess. A hot mess.
I just realized I didn't even go
And
upstairs while I was home. I didn't go upstairs even once.
nope, because you don't live here anymore. You're not allowed to come upstairs. People who don't live here are not allowed to come up on the top floor of the house. That's not how that works. We operate on Walton's rules here. You don't go upstairs if you're not
Bolted
family.
rules.
I realized when I was watching reruns of the Waltons one time that that must be why where I got that from because there was a whole episode where it was almost a scandal because one of the girls had let somebody come upstairs, and it's like you don't let some. I think it was a guy, and it was like you
Ooh.
don't let somebody come upstairs and they're not family. You don't let them come upstairs in the house.
Downstairs for
Family
guests.
stays in the front room. Maybe you let them in the kitchen. You don't they don't go upstairs.
What are you doing? What were you thinking?
So I realized that I must have watched that in my formative years, and that's where I got the idea that people do not come upstairs in your house.
That's
But
hilarious.
it's not hilarious. But even if you're on a level house, like your Aunt Terry is,
Hmm.
single
Her
story, not
bungalow.
well, she's not in a bungalow anymore, but
I just
her
like the
house
word
is
bungalow.
a single story, but eh, I would not walk back in her bedroom. Occasionally, she will call me into her bedroom, but I'm like, I will not walk back into her bedroom. And I have to repeatedly because she's the kind of person like just go anywhere in
It's
somebody's
all open.
house.
Welcome to everywhere.
Oh, welcome. Oh, did I ever tell you this story? Sidebar. Okay. This was when y'all were very little. Okay. When you were still little and home. I went and stayed at her house for a week while she was gone to England
Like
to
house
kind of
sitting?
house sit her house, but also I was babysitting her used to be neighbors newborn. Well, not
Hmm.
newborn. The baby was like maybe 6 months old, and um, that woman is now my boss, by the way, and lives
Oh,
somewhere else.
oh, that's cute.
But and the child is now 16 years old. But
Jeez.
so this was a long time ago. Anyway, so I was staying at the house for a week, and so I would watch the kid during the day, and then I had the whole evenings to myself. So I was, and Terry was like, don't use the little bath in the guest bathroom. Come use the bath in my ensuite because we just put in all these fancy, and I got the fancy smell goods and all this other stuff. So
Hmm.
I'm in there and I've got my music going on my little device and everything, and I'm taking a bubble bath, and all of a sudden someone walks into the bathroom. I am in the bathtub naked. One of her neighbors, not the neighbor whose child I was watching, but a different neighbor.
Just
I
walks
don't,
into their house and the
yeah,
bathroom.
I don't know if you remember Julia. You played with her briefly when you guys were kids. Used to live in Terry's neighborhood. I know you
Do
won't
you
remember.
remember children that you played with briefly when you were
No,
like 6?
no, no.
Okay.
But anyway, it was Julia's mother walked in the house because Terry and Julia's mother used to be tighter friends. They're not really tight now, but
Hmm.
walked in the house, calling Terry's name. I guess didn't realize Terry was out of town. Walked in the house, walked all the way in, walked in the bathroom
Did
because
not
I didn't have
was
because I didn't have the bathroom door shut because I was there
because
by
you were the only person
myself.
there.
And I'm in the
This
bathtub, barely got good bubbles covering my girls. And since she walked in and realized I was in the tub, she's like, "Oh my goodness!" And she backed out. But I'm like, that's just an illustration. Sidebar over. But that's just a illustration of how open your aunt Terry is
this is why every time I walk
compared.
home, every time I come home and I'm like, y'all can have a stranger walking up in your house. This is what's gonna happen. Y'all are gonna leave the door unlocked, and one day someone's gonna walk in, walk all the way into the bathroom. I don't know why after that moment you didn't lock your doors like literally every day forever. If I had a stranger walk in on me in the bathroom, absolutely not. My doors would be locked at all times. At all times. Ronald says people
But
always ask me why I close and lock the bathroom door even when I'm home alone. This is for this.
but do you have any other recollections of Christmas that you would like to share?
Oh, the friggin' escape room game that we played. It was so
So
ridiculous.
we played, you may be familiar with this, I want to say franchise, but that's or series or whatever, called Unlock Adventures. We played one of the Unlock short adventures, and it was supposed to take roughly 30 minutes.
Oh, 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 oh,
It was
oh,
supposed to
oh,
be
oh,
an
oh.
easy adventure. We, of course,
Unlock.
went all overtime
Ronald says he's played like 20 of them.
because he's played what?
He said he's played like 20 of them.
Oh, good lord!
We
Like
barely
you
got through
talking about the big
one.
main adventures or the short ones?
Yeah, because we did the mini one and honestly barely got through it.
Really, we played. I'm trying to bring it up so we can show it. Let's see.
He says he's played like
Yeah,
20
they
of the
call
main ones. He's never heard of the mini ones.
yeah, they call them Unlock Short Adventures.
And it was just a deck of
Uh,
cards and an app.
okay, there we go. It's there it is. So that's the one we played was Secret Yes Recipes of Yore. It says a game for kids. I don't know about kids. I mean, it's like there's
We
nothing
were,
in the game that would make it not appropriate for kids, except it
it's
was
just the
hard.
problem solving. Yeah. Because we were five
Yeah.
grown adults, all graduated high school, one graduated college, and we're really struggling. We definitely fudged the answers on at least one of those to like get through.
Yeah, we were struggling.
Because there's one mechanic that
But
they don't
it
really
was fun.
like explain super well. Yeah, it was fun. We had a lot of fun. Even when we got frustrated, we had a lot of fun. Wayne even played with us. I'm an
Yeah,
escape room
again, he doesn't
person.
usually play games with us.
But are y'all escape room people?
But
I'm an escape room person. Me and my friend Gilbert are trying to go because there's some like actual like full escape rooms over here in Asheville, and Gilbert and I are trying to go to a couple of them. We just need to find time in our schedules and $30 a piece.
yeah, I've never done an escape room. I've only watched like the escape rooms on TV. There was
Hmm.
a TV show once that only lasted one season that was escape rooms. And it was, oh no, it wasn't a bust. We had a
Hmm.
great time.
Yeah,
We had a great, I think we had a great time playing it. It's just I think
we just got
especially
stuck.
for I think we realize that we are not as smart as we think we are. Let's put it that
It
way.
Yeah, because there's one mechanic without like giving it away. There's one mechanic in the game that involves because they say, oh, there are numbers. Sometimes the numbers on the cards are hidden, and so there's one mechanic of like putting things on top of each other or like covering up parts of the pictures or like putting together two cards or something or putting a card upside down or whatever, like covering things so that you can see the hidden numbers. But
Yeah,
the
I feel like if they had even just said without giving it away, if they had even just said at the beginning, you know, use your various methods. Sometimes you may have to turn the
yeah,
cards or place them on top of each other or something like that to get your answer. That to me that wouldn't have been a giveaway if you
yeah.
had at least give it's like I was not in the frame of mind to understand that I could do certain things
Yeah, because
with the
I fully
card.
didn't realize the mechanic until after we had gotten all the way through the game.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like
I didn't
Chloe figured one out with putting cards on top of the other, but the other one we fully didn't
uh-huh.
figure out until the end of the game, after the game.
Exactly. Exactly. And I did not know that that was possible, which now that I know that it's possible, that that's part of what their
Hmm.
mechanics are. Kind of like when you do crosswords, you have to know like
Yeah.
the convention of the crossword. Like if they're giving you a cheeky little answer, then the clue is going to have like a question mark at the end of it instead of
Hmm.
just a straight clue. Or it'll say blah 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 comma say at the end of it, which means it's going to be some sort of pun, not
Yeah.
just a straight answer. And people who do crosswords a lot know
Know
that.
this. Yeah.
And if you don't do crosswords a lot, you don't know it.
Hmm.
And so the same thing for this. Now that I know that this is in their bag of tricks, so to say,
Hmm.
that this is the kind of thing that they'll put in their puzzles, then my mind is open to the idea of, okay, well, let me try turning it around. Let me try flipping it over. Let me try,
Hmm.
the only thing I knew about Unlock is that they are not the games that you tear apart. Because I know there's another set of games like because I read about a lot of different escape room games. All of this came about because of that Clue game being on sale. And when I saw that when I was Christmas shopping, that Clue game came up on sale, and I was like, "Oh, let me pick that up because that looks fun." And then that made me start thinking about other escape room things. And yes, the Exit brand, that's the brand I was thinking of. Exit is all of these games are like once you play them, you can't replay them again because you've already solved the puzzle, so there's nothing new. But
Yeah.
some of them, like I was telling you guys, some of them you can pass on to somebody else. And then some of them you destroy, like the exit. the exit ones, which I hear are very popular. Did
Ronald
you
says
like?
I actually go
Did
ahead.
you like that? Yeah, he said he just finished the exit advent calendar. Did you enjoy the puzzles in that game?
That sounds
I've avoided,
fun.
yeah, I've avoided watching the videos because I think one of these days I'm going to buy one of those advent calendars. So I avoided watching videos just in case
I
I
don't
buy
think I've
one.
ever had an advent calendar, period. We were selling advent calendars at work leading up to Christmas, and I kind of thought about getting one, but everybody at work was like, because it's just like the chocolate advent calendars, and everybody at work
Hmm.
is like, yeah, it's actually just like really shitty chocolate. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to
Yeah,
spend money on
yeah,
that.
we got I didn't grow up doing the advent calendar thing either. And but people talk about the advent calendars at Aldi. So
Mm-hmm.
I asked your father to get me the cheese advent calendar,
Cheese.
which I liked the cheese advent calendar. And the wine advent calendar is one that everybody highly recommends, but it's hard to find and I don't really drink wine like that. So I didn't I didn't really do that.
Ronald
Um
says, yes, they were great. I needed a hint on some days, but overall, I recommend it. It was Simple Puzzles, the one that I did. Designed for Families by Inca and Marcus Brand.
Well, now the unlock one that we did is supposed to be simple,
It was
but
supposed to be simple, and we just fully. Oh, also, the thing that frigging killed me was so we had the app, and then because you're making like French toast, and so you have to cook the French toast, and so you turn on the you go to the machine in the app, and you like put in the number for the oven card, and then a little like oven screen comes up, and you like set the oven, and then it turns on, and then whenever you're ready, you like turn on the oven, and then it turns on your camera on your phone, and you hold the phone over the card, and it shows the little piece of toast cooking, and it makes a little sizzling noise, and then you gotta like flip it over.
but
It
also
was
it's like
crazy.
they don't uh,
They'll warn
without
you.
giving it away. I mean, without giving it away, they should give you a little bit more of a clue that this is a mechanic that you might be using because we didn't know how to get the French toast done.
Yeah, we were trying to flip stuff, and it didn't tell you like because at one point you have to like shake your phone to flip it, and
Hmm.
it did not tell me because I was trying to like flip the card or like press a button on the screen. It fully did not. It did not warn.
Well, it said go to do the tutorial on the app. On the mini ones, it said go to do the tutorial on the app, and then you go and you open the tutorial thing, and it doesn't do anything.
It doesn't show you. It's just like the timer, like it is for the normal game. Like it doesn't. Like I think there was maybe supposed to be a tutorial card or something, or I don't know. There was some miscommunication between the card people and the app people.
Yeah, it didn't walk you through. But yeah, so I'm saving the other two because I have the two other ones, which I showed in a video a few weeks ago when opened my mail. I showed you all the stuff that I bought. So I still have the Clue one, which is supposed to be like a
Mm-hmm.
90-minute one. So that's why we didn't do it. And I have the Echoes one, which is supposed to be an hour, which is why we
Mm-hmm.
didn't do that one. We thought that, but I would definitely, now that I know how these work, I would definitely buy more of these because they're only $10.
And it was a nice,
And
like, quick little fun game.
yeah, it was a quick little fun game. And I think what I'll do is pass it along to your Aunt Terry because she likes to play games. So I thought pass it along to her and she can do it with her kid.
Mm-hmm.
So but there it appears to be, I'm looking at Amazon and it looks like there's at least two more of these mini ones.
I
So
want to try one of the full ones now. Now that we kind of understand it.
yeah, I think what I'm going to do, because your Aunt Terry and I are talking about going back to that board game cafe, and they have several of the full ones at the board game cafe.
Ooh,
So I would go there because I also want to try Chronicles of Crime, and they have Chronicles of Crime at the board game cafe.
what is Chronicles
So
of
I
Crime?
it's more of a it's a deduction game.
Okay.
it's a deduction game, so it's more of a solve the crime, who murdered the person or who stole the thing. Um,
I
but
love
there's
those games.
also oh, Chronicles of Crime wasn't a hit with your group. Oh
Oh
no.
no.
Oh no. What
Talk to
was
the
it that you
people.
guys what was it that
I
you
get my
guys
laptop
didn't
charger.
like about it?
It's just right here. I forgot.
Ronald, what was it that you guys didn't like? Yeah, I've heard it's quite popular too, but it's also kind of expensive. I saw it one place on sale for $17, and if I can find a sale like that again, I would pick it up. Because it's also console. It's another one of those things where you play it and then you already know the mysteries, so you don't really need those cards anymore. So you can pass that game on to somebody else. So I saw some used copies on Board Game Geek. Um, but yeah, with the okay. So it says you're the police and you're trying to solve the crime, but we felt that you needed to make leaps from interviews or observation that we just would never make. That was a little
Ooh.
bit. That was a little bit of what happened to us in the puzzle thing. It was like I do not in the unlock that we did. I didn't understand how they got from one number to another, because basically the way the game works with the unlock is that, without giving too much away, the way the game works is like you have one card, and then and then you supposed to add the number on the one card to the number on a different card, and that's supposed to give you a number that will make you turn over another card, and if you turn over that card, then it leads you further into the recipe that we were doing. And sometimes I don't understand how they got that math, because I don't understand which cards they were turning over. So I understand the thing
Yeah.
about not necessarily making that leap.
Yeah, Ronald says person barely mentions that she smoked a cigarette one time. Lead to we should go to the camel factory as an example.
Yeah, I get you. I get you. But I'm really enamored, I guess would be the way to put it, of board games that combine a little bit of technology. I understand wanting, because there's some people who don't want to um do any kind of board gaming at all, any kind of technology at all with their board games.
You're
But
purists.
I am enamored of, this is my hand motion for Danny, focus your brain. This is what this is. I'm trying to pull the brain back together because it's starting to float. So I'm trying to
I'm
do
gonna
this.
turn off my background since I can't.
What is your power starting
Oh my
to
goodness.
go?
No, I plugged my laptop up, but that means I had to turn off my little light, which makes me look just very dark in this room.
Oh, okay. Um, but
There we go.
but see, now I lost my focus again. Oh, I'm enamored of games where you have the technology that goes with the board game. So I like that, like the Unlock Adventures has the app that goes with it.
Yeah, I
The
fully
Chronicles
like.
the Chronicles of Crime has an app that goes with it.
I
I
lost
just
my
like
mind when they started toasting the little bread. Crazy. That was so funny.
so I like the combination of the two. So that makes me want to try it. And with us, I know you said that your group didn't like it, Ronald. That's part of why I don't want to spend $30 or $40 for it when I can spend $8 admission at the board game cafe and sit there as long as I
And
want
test it
to
out. Yeah.
and test it out. So that's what we are going to do. Um, what else was
Ooh,
I going to say? Oh,
maybe.
the one other thing I wanted to point out about Christmas was your father got me this thing.
Yeah, the Switch controller, the Joy-Con controller.
Yeah. So he what when my daughter was here at Thanksgiving, Ronald. I'm just talking directly to Ronald apparently.
What's
When
Ronald?
my daughter was here,
Ari's not here, and I don't know why. I'm about to text him.
but when I was talking to um my other daughter, Chloe, at Thanksgiving, um we were playing Overcooked. She brings her Switch when she comes down so that we can play games together. And I have a Switch as well, but that I just got recently. But because we got it secondhand, we do not have a dock. Okay. So, and remember I told you I bought that little
Ari
dock,
is here. He's been over here lurking this whole time.
lurking and smirking, as Canzalone, the other YouTuber I watch, says. He says lurking, working, and smirking.
Okay.
Um, Good morning, Ari. But you remember I bought that little square thing with the cord out of it from Temu for $5, and I said I couldn't get it to work.
Yeah.
Well, my brain finally decided to fire on all cylinders, and I figured out how to get it to work.
Oh, so you can connect your Switch to your
I
TV?
so I connected my Switch to my television. So that was a plus one on Christmas Day.
Nice.
And the reason I was able to do that because I thought when we were playing when your
Focus.
father played with us on the Switch a little bit at Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
And he was looking at Chloe's controller, how her Joy Cons were connected together like a regular controller, and he was
Mm-hmm.
asking questions about it. And then when I got upstairs, he was asking me more questions about it. I'm like, why is he asking so many questions about controller? My husband does not play video games, by the way. It turns out that I don't know why in my head I thought he played video games. I think this is a failing, not a failing, what's the word? A result of my I like to think that I am open minded and whatever, but there are certain areas where my brain is very, very trad. And part of it is
Trad. Oh, goodness. Sorry, I've read trad as a shorten of traditional. I've read trad. Hearing it out loud sounds like you just spit a rock at me.
traditional. Is that better?
Trad.
Is that better?
I don't know.
Should I just say traditional?
I think so. I feel like
Conventional?
trad should only be written because it really just it sounded like you just spit a rock at me. I
Yeah,
don't
trad sounds more racist than traditional.
trad. Yeah, it
It
just sounds
sounds very
very
sounds more,
aggressive.
yeah, yes, it does. Now that I've said it,
Trad.
it does, yes. But anyway,
Traditional.
I'm sorry that you're sleepy, Ari.
Go take a nap.
Um, well, he woke
Wait,
up to
actually,
be
wait
here
till our
with
stream
us.
is over
Stop
and then take a nap.
But um, there's certain things in my brain, like for some reason in my brain, boys play video games. Not that girls can't play video games, but somehow in my brain that I didn't even realize I had this thought until recently is that all boys play video games. And so I thought that your father played video games because your father didn't play sports.
Hmm.
In my brain, I think boys either play sports or video games. And
Oh,
like
only
your
two options.
brother your brother plays video games. So he didn't play sports and he didn't play like with trucks and stuff. Your brother is the video game boy. And I for some reason since your father does not play sports, in my head I thought he was a video game boy, but he is not. He just did he it's not that he didn't grow up with them because they didn't have money for consoles
Hmm.
when he was a kid, so he didn't really grow up with them. And I d- I mean, I didn't grow up with some stuff either, but I latched onto it as an adult, but I guess he just never
Hmm.
latched onto video games but he watches us play every once in a while. And so he jumped in and played a game with us at Thanksgiving and started asking all about the controllers and stuff. And I was like, why is he asking about the controllers? So then he brought this thing. So I thought, oh, when I saw this, I thought in this box was just this thing. because what
Yeah,
I had
that's what I thought.
explained to him, was that that's just a connect your she it's a connector to connect the two things, and we showed him
Yeah,
how they connect.
how
So
they go
I
in and out.
thought,
Yeah,
yeah, so I thought this box was just this thing. No, it's more
it's
Joy-Cons.
the whole controller.
It's the whole controller and a charger cord.
Oh snap!
So now I have, and I've got,
Yeah, I would recommend that by the way because we were playing Overcooked. Oh, cute.
and and I like the color, but also let me what Isaac mentioned, which he likes a lot. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but
It's
see how it has the curvy?
it's got the ergonomic.
Yeah, this feels better in the hand than the Joy Cons that I have.
Yeah, my
Um,
Switch Lite is flat. It doesn't have ergonomic where the
yeah.
controller bits are. My Switch Lite
Um,
is flat.
as I said, we got this second hand, so it when we got it, I don't know if I've showed this on camera before, but the person
Somebody
who
put
had
glitter
this
glue all
device
over the buttons.
painted glitter glue all over the buttons. Okay. I have I don't know very much about the controllers, so I still have to
You
look
don't know what the buttons
down.
are. Yeah.
Yeah, I still have to look down to remind myself which one is the A button and which one is the X button,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't see anything on this with this stupid glitter.
Glitter glue. That's funny. Yeah, that didn't even occur to me because I know where my buttons are on my Switch. And so the only thing that messes me up is if I go from Switch to Xbox and back because the buttons are in a different place. So, like on Xbox, the A is at the bottom and the B is on the side, the X is on the side, and the Y is at the top. On the
Mhm.
Switch, the A is on the side, the B is at the bottom, the X is at the top, and the Y is on the side. And so if I go back and forth between the two controllers, it'll mess me up. I feel like they should not be allowed to have all the same exact letters.
Oh,
But
Ronald has to look down too, so it's not just
Ross said
me.
represent.
Thank you, Ronald. It's not just me. But so
Now you can see what your buttons are.
now but also now we have extra Joy Cons,
Yeah,
so
that
that
too. Yeah.
when Chloe comes down and we play Overcooked together,
Everybody can have.
everybody has full Joy Cons.
Yeah, because when I
I still
was
need to get another connector for these so that
mm, yeah, because when
because
I was playing with
these right
Isaac,
here,
those
these
are
glitter ones are going right back in the box. I am not playing with these again unless I have to.
when
They're
Chloe
going
and
right back
Isaac
in
and
the
I were
box.
playing Overcooked on Christmas because I play Overcooked. Ari, all this here in the chat knows and can confirm that we have won Overcooked 2. We played all the way through Overcooked 2. I am not a newbie at Overcooked. It's not that I do not know how to play Overcooked. We beat that entire game. So we know Overcooked. But we were playing like level 3, but playing with that little Joy-Con, like just the tiny
Uh-huh.
little controller. I felt like I had never played a video game before in my life. I
Mhm.
like couldn't move, I couldn't blah blah. And then and so Chloe with Ari yelling at me, yes, because I like to do silly stuff. But then as soon as we switched controllers and Chloe and I switched, and so I played with her full controller with the two connected. All of a sudden, I knew what I was doing. All of a sudden, I could play things. But trying to play with that tiny little
Exactly.
Joy-Con was like,
Exactly.
how does anyone ever play a game like this? That's like this tiny little. It's so I needed a full controller.
Exactly. Exactly.
It was because I feel like I watch people all the time play games and they'll play multiplayer games and everybody's just got like half a Joy-Con and they're just playing their little game and I'm like
I don't know
in my head I
how.
was like, oh, it must not be that hard. And then as soon as I try to do it for the first time, disaster.
That's why they always hand me
The full
the full one, because they can at least halfway do it. I can't do it at all.
yeah, that was a disaster. I hated that.
So we've got about 30 minutes left. So do we want to talk about what we want to do we you bleh,
Goals, aspirations.
goals, aspirations? Are you making any resolutions this year?
Um My resolution is I have been kind of thinking about resolutions. So I've got a couple like serious ones and then a couple silly ones. Um, so for one of the serious ones,
Okay,
I want.
wait a minute. Before you go there, you put something on here that says art got played. What was that?
Oh yeah, I fully forgot that was on the list yesterday. So we had Christmas, and then I had to go to work the next day. So I went to work, and there were these ladies, these two black ladies came in, and they were buying a bunch of stuff. They were like shopping for some little girl's birthday party or something because they got like a Disney princess pinata and all this stuff. So they are in the store
Mhm,
for like 20 minutes, and then they
mhm.
come up to the register, and they start throwing all this stuff up on the counter. So me and Thomas are here, and we're scanning. I'm
Okay,
scanning, and he's bagging, scanning,
this
bagging.
starting to sound bad, but go ahead.
It's so we scan $401.23 worth of party supplies. And so
Okay.
they including a helium tank and like at least $200 worth of candy and all this stuff. So we scan all this stuff up. And then the one lady is like, I got to go out to the car to get the card. So she walks out and she's got the helium tank, but I'm like, she's got to come back because the other lady's got the rest of the stuff in her hand. And so she
Mhm.
comes back in with her card, and then all she's like trying to do her card, and she's like, it's giving me issues. I don't know. It's not showing up, and it's saying like error and blah blah. So I'm leaned over the counter looking at the card reader, trying to figure out how to get how to like help her, and she's like, and it's going and it keeps declining and it keeps declining, and I'm like, in my head I'm like, this lady does not have $400. She doesn't look like she's got $400. She needs to get somebody to cash app her. But I'm like, let me not be rude, let me not be profiling people or whatever. She could have $400 somewhere. So she's going. It's declining, it's declining. And so she's like, you know what? Let me go back and get my MasterCard. The MasterCard will have the money on it. And so she walks out. While I was leaned over the register, her friend with all of the rest of the $400 of stuff walked out the door. So she goes out to get
Oh
her MasterCard. They've
no.
taken everything. They fucking
Oh
got
no.
me.
I had a feeling that's what you were gonna say.
They fucking got me. And it's not even like I was the only person in the store. I was running the register, but I was leaned over the register helping this lady. There were two other people in the store. There was the manager walking around on the floor. He went across the way to set up the other register while I was trying to help this lady with the card reader, so that because there were two other people in line, and then there was Thomas, the other employee. So I was not the only person there, but technically, since I was doing the transaction or whatever, but I was like, I was pissed because she walked out to get her card, and they're like, oh, she's not coming back, and I'm like, what just happened? It just whoa, friggin' got me. I was so upset. And I asked my manager, I'm like,
So did you get in trouble?
yeah, I asked my manager, I was like, am I gonna get in trouble? And he's like, you might get written up just because of the amount, but I know it wasn't malicious or anything, so you're not gonna get in like trouble, but like somebody has to get written up because of the amount that got taken. But other than that, you're not really
Oh,
gonna get in trouble. And I'm like, oh my God.
I'm bummed because I feel like this job seems to be working for you and your schedule and stuff, and I don't want to see you get in trouble.
Yeah, the way he said it, it doesn't sound like I'm really gonna get in trouble. It's just they
Mhm.
have to do some kind of write up or something. And I'm like, bruh, and I'm so upset because I was like, it's two black ladies. I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt because black people get profiled in the stores all the time and stuff like that. And
Uh-huh.
I'm like, and black people come in there all the time and just like black stuff. And so I'm like, let me just, and I've seen plenty of black people come in here buy $200 worth of stuff for their kid's second birthday, $200 worth of Paw Patrol or whatever. And so I was like, okay,
Mhm.
and I was so upset because the other thing that was going through my head, my immediate thought, as soon as I realized, like as soon as they like said it, and if I processed what happened, my other immediate thought was, they're black, I'm black, someone's going to think that I was helping them because we're black. That was my next immediate thought, and that's why I like
Uh-huh.
asked my manager. I was like, "Am I going to be in trouble?" He's like, "No, you're not going to be in trouble. Just somebody has to get written up." So
Yeah.
I was so, and they like, and
Uh,
because so Thomas was helping me bring stuff up as we were doing it. They were putting stuff back too. Like they had $400 of stuff, and they were like, actually, we don't need this one, and I think we don't want this too. So it felt like such a real transaction, and then all of a sudden they were
uh,
gone. I was upset.
I'm with you, Ronald. I can't believe the gall. I can't believe the gall. It's just like, that's so
That's
rude. That is
gross.
so Rude.
I was
So
upset
rude.
because I'm prepared to watch because everyone knows I most of my experience is not in retail, it's in fast food, and so you at fast food, we're not handing you the food until you pay, so you can't just like walk out with it.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
but at retail, and I work during Halloween, and so in Halloween I my thought process was look at people walking around like sticking stuff in their bags when we're super busy and blah blah blah. And so that is the kind
Mhm.
of mentality that I had. So I was fully not prepared while I was running because I was really fully invested in I need to help this lady with the card reader. Did not see that the other woman was gone until they were both out the door.
Oh.
Ronald says,
That is
women's supposed to support women and they knew they were getting you in trouble. They knew it. Exactly.
exact. Just wrong. Just
Because
wrong.
what did they think was going to happen if 500 if I was helping them at the register at $500 or $400 walks out the door? Did they think I wasn't going to get in trouble?
So wrong.
And all this for some 60-year-old's birthday party? Was it worth it? Was it worth it for little Shannon?
Little Shannon. You're so funny.
But yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah, so this is the time of year where everybody is either it used to be the time it used to be during this lame duck week everybody would be like all the media outlets would be doing their wrap ups of their top 10 lists or like their
Oh yeah, I
10 or
we
their
never went over our
10
Spotify rap.
or their 10 what's the word? Um
Top 10 products we used this year.
like yeah, or like the top 10 articles that everybody read on our site this year or blah blah blah, which is different from a wrap up. Spotify, you know, I feel like Spotify cornered the market. Other people may have done wrap ups, but I think Spotify really cornered the market or um
And my friend made a homemade version of his grinder Tinder wrapped. That's
oh
hilarious.
no.
That's
Oh no.
amazing.
I'm scared. I'm
That's
scared.
amazing.
But so this is the week where I try to think about things that I want to do. There are small things. Oh, well, you go back to your goals. I'm sorry. I interrupted your goals with your Artemis story.
You're good. I have some serious ones and then some silly ones. So I'll save the silly ones for the end to be lighthearted. Um, but the serious ones, one of the big ones is I want to try my crafting space is very chaotic, like very chaotic. And I feel
Mm,
like, and that happened at the old house too, where I will put things on my table and then just slide those things to the side and then put more things on the table and then slide more things to the side. And like, cause I like all of my crafts to be accessible. I don't want to like if I'm working on wood burning, I want my wood burning to be sitting right there. So when I feel like doing wood burning again, I can just pick it right up. But that ends up with me having my
yeah.
wood burning and my crocheting and my candle stuff and this and that all over the table at
Hmm.
all times.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so I want to work on putting things away when I'm not working on them and just making sure they're all together in a bag. That way, when I want to work on them again, I can just pull the bag back out and work on it and not be
Hmm.
afraid of putting things away. So I want to work on keeping my craft space clean. Something that's going to help
Hmm.
that. Wayne's mother or grandmother, I can't remember which one got it for us, but I think it's his mother, got us like little shelving storage units because the two things that Wayne asked for Christmas from his family, a vacuum and storage to put things away because he knew that I
Uh-huh.
really wanted storage for the office. So we got little shelving
Yeah.
units.
Sidebar. I know women have said for, years, "Oh, he gave me a vacuum cleaner for Christmas. That is so rude."
That
I
vacuum is
tell
for him.
I tell you what. I mean, but in general,
Yeah.
people say it's so rude to give you practical stuff for Christmas. But sometimes,
Sometimes
especially
it's
if
what you
you're
need.
in, sometimes if you're in, especially if you're in our tax bracket, as they say, it's nice to get something practical for Christmas. Something like an air fryer or an instant pot
Or a
a
clothing rack.
or a steamer for your clothes or stuff like that because you wouldn't come
Oh,
up off that expense yourself, but you need it.
that's That steamer in my wish list was not for my clothes. That was for my wigs. Just so you know. Just so you are aware. That was not for my clothes. That was for my wigs.
God, steaming your wigs. But I'm just saying, practical gifts aren't always awful. You have to feel the room of your partner or your person that you're gifting. Sometimes they want a practical thing. Sidebar over.
Exactly. So, that's one thing is I want to, and I'm going to be working on that probably this week, just going around and cleaning up little bits of things at a time. Because if you want to see just the tiniest glimpse of so I'm about to show you my working desk, the desk that I do all of my
Ronald
working at.
agrees with me. It is sometimes it is wanted, which while you're turning things around to show your desk,
Yeah,
that
that's my
I was just
working desk.
that's your working desk.
There's nowhere to work.
That's but yeah, that's and I mean I raised you guys like this, so it's partially my fault, but because our budget was tight during the years that we were raising you, we I would put off at least on my Christmas, my personal Christmas wishes. We never did a formal list until the last 5 years, like we do now, but we did kind of write down things on a paper list, for years that we would exchange with each other. And I always put on things that were that were practical because we didn't buy things during the year. So, like
Mm.
Christmas, part of the reason we had this list system for Christmas was because we didn't buy things for you guys during the year. We didn't buy things for each other during the year. Christmas, that's why it's hard to shop for your father for Christmas because it's like December 1st comes around and in his brain, it's like, this is the permission to shop. Christmas is December is the month I'm allowed to shop. So while I'm out here buying stuff for y'all, I'll buy myself a sneaky little
Yeah, he
thing
said
here or there.
he opened up his gift, and one of his gifts was like a battery pack that you like plug into your phone. It says plugged into your phone, and he was like, "Oh, I almost just bought this for myself yesterday."
It's like, it's Christmas. Why are you put it on your list? Why would you go buy it? Because
Exactly.
he cannot help himself. In his brain, December is when while I'm shopping for everybody else, I can buy myself a few things. So then we have nothing left to buy him. But I'm trying to get one of my goals is to get out of the habit of putting everything off. I've been kind of slowly working on this for the past 2 years really, is to not put everything like I would have things on my Christmas list, on my Amazon wish list for the last couple of years. I would have things like wig grips, wig stands. I mean, little things that are under $10. I can buy those things for myself, but I'm so used to not buying
Yeah.
anything that's not food or rent that I don't I feel like I feel bad buying it. And so I've been trying to work myself out of that mindset of, is this a gift worthy thing or is this a thing that I need for
That I should
myself
just spend my own money.
that I should just spend my money? You know, I can go get myself that cheap ass body spray from Bath and Body Works that I keep stealing from my children.
Speaking of body spray, I just saw a tutorial of, and this is gonna go into my next thing, but I just saw a tutorial of how to make body spray, like moisturizing body spray that smells good, and I
Oh, that
kind of want
sounds
to try to
fun.
make. Yeah, and I kind of want to make some because it seems like it would be easier than the candles because it's not as much effort and it still has little
Hmm.
smell goodies, and people like
Hmm.
body sprays, so I thought about it. Anyway, that segues into my
That's
next
how you
thing,
know
which
it's a good gift when the person says, "I almost bought this for me."
exactly. But that segues into my next thing, which is I am trying to narrow down what I'm doing for my business. Because in years past, I have just like fully gone off on a whim of like, I want to make candles. So I'm making candles now, and I want to do this and I
Mhm.
want to do that, and blah, blah, blah. And so I'm trying to really narrow it down because that will help
Mhm.
me make more inventory that and like keep my table more full, as opposed
Mhm.
to, oh, I've got two leftover candles from when I was making candles, and I've got like one wand from when I was making wands. I've got this and like little
Mhm.
odds and ends. So I'm trying to narrow it down.
I've been trying to steer you in that direction
And
for
I've been
the
trying to.
past.
It's just hard because every time I see a thing that is makeable, I want to make it. Is the
Yeah,
problem.
you take after your mother that way when it comes to
My
crafts
toxic trait
or
is if I see a tutorial, I am fully confident that I can do it.
there's limits to that because I don't know if I can put a new toilet seat on my toilet in the
Give me
bathroom
the supplies, I got it.
even though I've seen the tutorial. I feel like I have to pass that job on to somebody else. But the, actually that's the job that we would pass to Chloe, but Chloe doesn't live here anymore. I fully Chloe's the one who went and got the bachelor's degree. She's the one I fully pinned my hopes on going to plumbing school.
Plumbing school.
Cause she always was willing to just go in there and fix the things with the sinks and the toilets and put the new doorknobs on and other I fully had her pinned to go to trade school. And that's our fault because we both had in our heads that oh, we're going to work hard so that all of our children could go to a traditional college and get a 4-year degree and get a good job. And it wasn't until I think after you had already started your freshman year of college, somewhere in that area I started to realize, oh, this country is in a deficit of like all the people who know how to do plumbing and electrical work and bricklaying and all that kind of stuff. All those people are getting old and retiring or dying. And nobody is jumping into those skills because we've all been pushing our kids to go to college. And so now our kids all have college debt. Some of them, when I say our, I mean the collective
The
world
collective
our.
country.
Yeah, we have college debt, and some of them haven't finished college, and even the ones who finished college are still working at, you know, McDonald's, Waffle House, Party City, Restaurant Depot, and not really putting that college degree to work because too many of y'all went to college. Some of y'all needed to go
Too many
to
people went to college, and now there's no more jobs for it.
And some of y'all needed to go learn how to fix cars and lay bricks. I mean, that's hard
Bruh,
work.
I'm still.
That's hard physical work, but some people are not really necessarily meant for going to school. You should have gone and learned how to do something
Wayne
else.
Wayne is on that track to be a restaurant manager, and I'm very proud of him. Things are going good for him. Things are looking good. Um, if he ever decides to change a career and picks anything other than being a car mechanic, that's the end. We're breaking up. We're splitting up. I am. That is it. All of these car issues that we have, and cars are so expensive. If he decides
Oh, not
anything else,
not that he's good at cars, just that you need
no,
him to learn
we
how to
need
be good at
it.
cars.
We need it. Also, mechanics make good friggin' money. I know because they have all of mine.
but um but it tied in with your goal of cleaning your area. My area, if you could see what this office looks like, well, for the most immediate goal is this week, since this is dead week, what I'm going to do is just kind of, and I said dead week even though I hate that expression, since this is lame duck week, I am going to um, spend the next few days because your brother is also off. So I'm going to try playing some games with him. We already played that Game of Life goals card game, and
Mm-hmm.
it's cute. There's not much to it. It would be
Mm-hmm.
a cute little starter game if because it literally takes 5 minutes for somebody to win if there's only two of us playing. So there's not much to the game, but if all four of us, it takes 4 players. If all four of us were sitting at the table, we would have it would take a little bit longer, and we would because you steal cards from each other and stuff, and it would be a cute little starter game
Okay.
for us to play. Um, but I want to play some games with him. We played some Fortnite.
I didn't get back on
Um,
Fortnite yet. I saw the house whenever I went to visit you guys. They built up our friggin' mansion, but we still don't have any beds.
yeah, I don't know. Did we mention it last week that we were playing Lego Fortnite? Is what we were playing?
Last week was when I was sick, and so I
Oh,
didn't get to talk.
so
I
I
don't know if
might have
you
mentioned
mentioned it.
I might have mentioned it when we were talking. But yes, we discovered Lego Fortnite, which is not really the if you played Fortnite, it's the oh, we did, Ronald, thank you. So we played Lego Fortnite. We haven't gotten back together as a group, but we did play it. I think it was last, not this past Sunday, Christmas Eve,
The
but
Sunday before.
The Sunday before. We played. Well, we didn't know that you were home and that you wanted to be invited. And can you
I
have
could have
more
told
than
you that
four
Ari wanted to be
people in
invited.
it?
This is out of spite, Ari. This is just me wanting to spend some
Can
time with my family.
can
I knew
can
you
you
wanted to come,
have
Ari.
more than can you have more
I
than
don't
4 people in a room or?
I don't know if you can have more than 4 people in a room. And Ari would absolutely love this game. Ari and I played Grounded together, and he spent a bunch of time just building stuff. Um, I will look it up and see if we can have more than 4 people in a room because we already all have Isaac's room code for his world or whatever. So if
Uh-huh.
Isaac just invites Ari, then maybe he can also have the room key. I don't know.
You can have up to 7 people have a key. I know that. You can have 7 keys you can give away for a particular room. So I know
Okay.
that. But I also have a room that has absolutely nothing built in it. And I have about 15 backpacks that I dropped because when I created my room, I set it so that if you get attacked, you drop all your items. So there is items spread all over the land that is I because I keep getting attacked before I can keep my stuff. But yeah, I tried going in yesterday. I tried going into some of the other things. Um,
Lego Fortnite has room for 8 total players at a time.
yes, Ari just dropped that in there.
Okay.
So,
We'll get you the room key,
so
Ari.
but in Lego and Fortnite Festival, those are the only two things we've been
Fortnite.
playing. I tried jumping into some other rooms and we were talking on Christmas. I was talking with Wayne and separately with your brother about how Fortnite appears to be trying to make itself a competitor for Roblox as far as
Mm.
being a just an engine and having a universal of different games. I dropped into some of those rooms and I tell you if they're trying to have that kind of experience, they need to they're going to have a hard time because these longtime players, their mentality is the minute somebody drops in the room, you need to shoot them.
Oh,
So no matter what kind of game it's supposed to be, you I would get shot as soon as I dropped in before I could even get my bearings and figure out what was going on.
oh no.
So so I can't. I mean, the only thing I didn't get shot in was when we did the 300 logo
Hmm.
thing, guessing the different logos where you just run through different doors of which logo was right. But that was a little bit boring. But also, we played privately, so there was no other strange people in there to shoot me. I have a
Yeah.
feeling if we had made it a public room, somebody would have shot me.
She does not like shooting games.
No, no, I am not a shooting game person. I mean, to be fair, if there is something like I played Centipede back in the day briefly. I played Galaga back in the day briefly, which is just a faceless, Galaga is just a faceless spaceship shooting other faceless spaceships, you know what I mean? So shooting in that. But what is wrong with you over there?
She's over here talking about, oh, I don't normally play shooting games, but like I've played shooting games before. I played Centipede and Galaga. My mom.
That's not the same.
Thank you.
Tell your mom to put
I
Fortnite
know
down.
it's not the same. I know it's not the same. What I was
I know.
trying to say is that
Or
I am
finishing with it.
not I am not opposed to, yes, you're hearing Rainbow.
Yeah,
Is
that
that
was.
Jesus?
Is that
Is
Jesus?
that
No, that was Wade.
that was Rainbow. But I'm not opposed to things where games where you have to like destroy something else in front of you is what I'm trying to say. If that makes any sense. But I'm just not prepared to immediately have something destroy me as soon as I, you know, drop down into the world. Because like for instance, perfect example, in um Lego Fortnite that we are
Mhm.
playing, there are monsters that will destroy you. And I have no problem, you know, punching or taking my axe or whatever we
By the way,
use in
you
that
need to get a
game
sword.
to destroy the spiders. Yes, I need to make myself a sword. But, I'm not opposed to, hacking away at the spiders. Or there's another game on Steam called No Place Like Home where you have to clean up all the trash, but then there's all these monsters that jump out of the trash at you and try to kill you. I have no problem killing those things. So it's not like, oh, afraid to kill things in a game. And there's hunting in Palia. I haven't done the hunting yet, but there's hunting in
I still need to
Palia.
play Paleo. I downloaded it. I haven't played it.
Hunting deer and stuff like that. So I'm not afraid to do that kind. I'm trying to say I'm not morally opposed to destroying monsters or things in
You
games,
just
but
do not have the coordination.
I don't have the coordination. And I don't have the speaking of coordination, which makes me think of the last time I had to try to be coordinated, which was playing Red Dead Redemption, and I cannot steer the horse. Um, Red Dead Redemption was on sale on the Switch for like super cheap, like $5 or something,
Yeah,
and I almost bought it.
yeah.
And
I
then I
was
was like,
looking.
"Why?"
I was on Steam on my brand new laptop. I was looking at Steam and looking at some of the games on sale. There was something that was on sale that normally. Oh, it was Tiny Tina's Wonderland,
Yes.
which is a Borderlands, and it's on sale right. And it's normally like 50 something or $60, and it's on sale for like $15 right now.
Yeah, they've got some crazy sales going on. I almost bought
Outrageous.
that Red Dead Redemption, but then I'm like, I can't play Red Dead Redemption. I couldn't play it when I can barely play Palia.
I mean, if you get some practice with your Fortnite
But
moving around and stuff, maybe you could play Red Dead Redemption.
I don't know. Well, I mean, at least with Red Dead Redemption, again, you're not going to have this stuff jumping out at you from nowhere. But I know we only have a few more minutes left because you need to drive the man to work. So I will quickly just run through. I'm
Oh yeah,
taking
the rest of your
this week.
resolutions.
That's why I have no yarny things to show. That's why I thought we would just talk about goals or whatever. I'm going to take this week to
Ooh,
just play with my Christmassy stuff and
yarny
then
things. Give me 2 seconds.
starting.
I
Yes.
have a yarny thing I want to show. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Okay. 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 While she's showing her yarny thing, I will show she bought me yarn for Christmas. Ooh, I got it upside down. Which I have been wanting to try since the cakes got this is called cake style yarn for those who don't knit. And since the cakes became popular, I've about 5 years ago, 10 years ago, I've been wanting to try them, but you know me trying to spend money is painful. So I've never bought any. So she bought me some for Christmas.
Yeah, I went to Joann's where I knew I could get a sale.
So
That way I
what's
could get you
your
as many as possible.
that was so sweet of you.
I made a
So what's
Charlotte.
you made a shawl? Oh my
I made it in
gosh.
like 2 days.
Did you make it with a cake?
No, oh, well, sort of. It was so the green fading that
Uh-huh.
that was a cake.
And are you
That was just
alternating it with black? Is that what that
yeah.
is?
I alternated it with black to be able to stretch it out a little bit. But yeah, I made a shawlette. It's not like
Lovely.
a full shawl, but it's like a decent size. So it's big
It's a
enough
it's
to
a no, that's a full enough shawl.
wear on my shoulders and live my best granny life with these glasses chains. Or I originally intended it to be big enough to wear around this way, the way the
Mhm.
cute hipster girls wear, with just
The
a chunky.
only hipster girls who wear it that way are hipster girls who knit or crochet. Regular people who don't knit or crochet do never wear that style.
I also feel like I never see anyone wear them this style, but in all the pictures on Ravelry, it looks like just normal people
Exactly.
wearing normal things.
You
Ravelry
you
has
would
confused
you
me.
would that's one of the reasons I don't make shawls because I know that regular people out crochet do not wear shawls. But that shawls are a very popular pattern and the
Because they're
shawls
so
out there
easy.
because they're so easy to make, but it's like nobody wears them. So why would I
Yeah,
make them when nobody wears them? I might
I'm just
make
gonna
myself.
I'm gonna call it a
It looks
triangle
nice.
scarf because look at, doesn't it look
It
cute?
looks nice on you. Yeah, it looks cute on you.
It took this
It looks
ugly shirt
cute.
that I was wearing, and all of a sudden I have an outfit.
It looks cute on you. It does. It looks cute on you. But yeah, I may make myself one more shawl just to because on the cruise I usually have at least one outfit that is spaghetti strap or strapless, and then we go in the dining room and I'm
And it's
freezing.
freezing.
So I may make one shawl for that kind of thing. But in
Mhm.
general, I don't have a reason to wear a shawl.
I think I'm
So
gonna make some more like that and call them triangle scarves, like triangle scarf
mm,
slash shawlette. Because I have a
mm,
friend at one of my markets that's going to be giving me. They got a hold of a busted up uh body form like
uh-huh.
thing, like stand to put on the table. And so I'm gonna have to like
Mhm,
spray paint it because they said it's kind of like beat up and ugly. So I'm gonna have to spray paint it so
mhm,
it's so it looks decent enough to put on my table. But then I
mhm.
could sit the form on the table and put the shawlette over it, and then people could see,
Yeah.
oh, wear it like
See
this
how it looks. Yeah. Yeah,
instead of just
exactly.
thinking it's
That
like a
is
granny shawl. Because over the shoulders it looks like a granny shawl, but around the
mhm,
neck it looks trendy.
it looks trendy, yeah. Yeah. So your goals are to narrow down your niche for your
Yes.
business. And you said you had a goal you wanted to mention?
Oh yeah, it has a silly goals. Oh, my other goal was no. I feel like I had another one. I've lost it. My silly goals, I want to be an accessory person. I want to be a ring guy. That's why I got those rings. I got a pack of
Uh-huh.
rings for Christmas. I want to be a ring guy. I want to be an accessory person. And so I've got
Yeah,
the
I saw
rings and I've
some
got
of
the
them. It made I hate that when I see somebody in my family do something that looks cool and then it's like, "Oh, maybe I'll try that." Because then I feel like,
do it.
"Well, no,
Be a ring guy.
now I can't do it because they're doing it." And now I feel like for years my younger sister would get like a certain haircut, and I'm like, "Oh, I like that. Maybe I should do that to my hair." And then I'm like, "No, I can't do it now because now it's her haircut." And then it would look like we're trying to be twinning or something. It would look weird for me always to be copying cool
Just do
stuff that
it.
she's doing. I need to get my own personality.
I fully
But
said earlier today, I steal stuff out of Chloe's wish list so that I can have things that she has. Just do
that
it.
that is one of my failings. It is very I don't have a lot of things that are fully formed my own idea or my own personality. I am very much, oh, I see you doing that. Can I borrow some of that? And then I see you doing that. Can I borrow some of that? I
That's how
don't have
styles
my
are
own
formed.
I don't have my own style. I don't have
That's how
my
styles are
own
formed.
I don't know. I'm not explaining it well, but it just feels like I just copy from everybody that you can't really see who I am because I copy from everybody.
Well,
Or at least in my head I would copy from them, but then I stop myself because it's like, "Oh, I'm stealing their stuff, so I'm not going to do that." So then I have nothing.
but who you are is the stuff that you like. So if you like the thing, then do the thing, and that's you.
You're young. You're so comfortable doing those things.
Anyway, I want to be
So
a ring guy.
so you want to be your ring guy. Was that your only silly goal?
Pretty much is I want to be a ring guy, but I don't understand how people do things with rings. I keep grabbing things and it's like it feels crunchy.
The amalgamation of that is you. Thank you, Ronald. Bye, Ari. Happy New Year. We'll see
But
you in the new
Ari's
year.
trying to get rid of us because
Try,
it's time
try,
for me to go.
because you need to go. Yeah. So I'm gonna say my last little thing, and then that's our wrap up, and you can go on to work. My Like I said, I'm just taking this week to contemplate starting in the new year. Some of the things I want to do are to finally get the layer of dust off of this office in here and try to organize it so it feels less claustrophobic.
Ooh, we should have a
Um,
cleaning day
the
and just video chat
the
in corporate.
first 3 months of this new year, I am working on the Afghans. Even though you were a bad girl and tempted me with new yarn, I have to work on those Afghans before she moves into her new house in March. Um, I want to start clearing off, like when I saw your brother um, giving you some things as you were leaving, and then he was giving Chloe some things as she was leaving. That sparked in my head that there are a lot more things around here that we really don't use that we need to start clearing off. So I'm going to start going through like the bookshelves and stuff like that and getting rid of a lot of these books and items that really don't need to be here. So basically, my goal for 2024 is decluttering.
Before you go getting rid of books, send me a picture of the ones that you want to get rid of because I might want some of them. Because I feel like there are some books that I think about that I'm like, where was this book? And I'm like, oh yeah, this book was at home when I was 8 years old. So
Well, I'll make the pile, but I plan to just like keep some of the classics because like I asked for some books for Christmas, like I got this one. This was a book that I wanted for a long time.
mhm.
So this is a classic, so I'm going to keep it. But I'm not a person who really feels like I need to own books. So pretty much everything in here, unless it's all my copies of Harry Potter, although I feel bad about keeping that now as she turned out to be ugh. But I can't get rid of those.
And
So
they've already been
all
purchased. It's not like you're buying them now.
yeah, that's true. So but all my copies of Harry Potter and all my cookbooks and all my pattern books I plan to keep. But a lot of these other I have a lot of just novels and stuff that can go into the little free library at the front of the subdivision
I meant
and
to
things
bring
like
you
that.
something and fully forgot. I got a box and I couldn't say no. I will bring this to you, and this will be the last thing I say because we gotta get out of here. But I got
Mhm.
a box of old knitting and crochet magazines of like vintage stuff from someone. It was like an old boss's like mother had passed away and she was like a crocheter and knitter, and so my boss doesn't do any of that, didn't know what to do with it, found out that I did, and I was like, I can't say no, this is her dead mother's stuff that she's trying to give to someone who will use it, and so it is just sitting in my storage space. So next time I go home to
How
see
how
you, I
how
will.
vintage? Are we talking 80s vintage or are we talking like 60s vintage?
I think like 80s vintage. I don't know. I like leafed through a couple of them, but this is also like months ago. They were sitting in my car and are now sitting in my storage area.
Okay, well, bring them to me because
Yeah.
I will take because people like to pass all their vintage patterns to me, and I
Yeah.
do
I know
like a
you like
vintage
vintage stuff.
pattern. I
Yeah.
prefer pre-80s because 80s doesn't feel vintage to me because I lived through the 80s, so I prefer pre-80s, but I will definitely take a look at them.
Yeah. I will bring them to you. Okay. We got to wrap it up. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, share it with people, go into the Discord, and to show us that you finished the video, leave a comment telling me what you call this week because dead turducken week or whatever you've been saying is not it.
Lame
So
duck,
we're gonna figure something out.
lame duck week.
Come up with another name for the week and leave it in the comment, or just leave an emoji of a duck.
Thank you for spending time with us. We really appreciate it. Bye.
Goodbye.